kutoka zile studio za Pambio Worship Music. Tumekuja kumsifu Bwana. Baraka zishuke kama chomba, zikuangukie, neema yake izidi kukuongoza. Usiaibike dunia ikikuchokoza, kumbuka Yesu anaona. Ukifilu naogopa, wacha kupiganie. Kama siwe Baba, ningekuwa wapi leo? Kama siwe Baba, nisingekuwa hapa leo. Naona niwe Baba, najua niwe Baba.
Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity that you have given unto us. Father, we don't take it for granted, O King of Glory. Father, we lift up your holy name because you are worthy, O Lord. Father, thank you for this moment, O God, and we come before you, O King of Glory. You have good plans for us, O Lord. Father, we thank you, we honor you, and we adore you because you are mighty.
And Mr. Douglas has a long story. And Mr. Douglas is a vessel of God.
Thank you.
To make sure that those who have been bonded with addiction on drug and self-abuse, they are set free.
Wow.
That is the mission that I have on earth here.
Wow.
So welcome and God bless you. God bless you. Amen.
A round of applause to Mr. Douglas. We're going to give you some touch later. We're going to time to come. Amen. Makofi kwake tena.
The word of God is blessed and the hand before they shall be. Watakula. Kwa hivyo karibuni sana. I know we shall be talking a little bit more. For now, I just want to say karibu sana to this launch, and I know you are all here because you are part of this family.
Nimefurahia sana kupata hii nafasi, so that we gather together with our friends. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wonderful pleasure to see our brother Anthony has pushed his program to this level. And we are so proud that we are part of the journey.
Right.
When he told us that now we are moving into one notch higher, that is now not just network. You know, the network is a very good thing because network means I have people here and there. But at foundation is a different level from network. So if we have all supported the Grandness network, that was a wonderful thing, that was a wonderful thing. But now, the next challenge is to look when it comes to foundation, when network becomes a foundation, then what? So those who are supporting me, what I would say, now supporting even one notch higher. Those who are working with me, now inquire. If you would inquire 3 times a day, as he was doing at a network, now take time to inquire 4 times.
My name is Antonio Muga. I'm a black suit. God watch. I'm happy to see people black wearing new uniforms this magic day. God watch. Evening hours. To me, it's a foundation at this moment you are trying to build. The foundation needs 4 things: love, integrity, unity, God. Without God, no foundation. Foundation, the love is for God is done.
Thank you very much for saying enough is enough to drugs. The foundation has come at the right time when our youth, our society is crying because the youth, and even the elderly, are being lured into drugs and substance abuse. Reason being broken families, unemployment, some peer pressure, and lack of mentorship. So you are standing in the gap to ensure that you are bringing back a drugless society, which is going to ensure that we become very productive as a society.
When we heard that the church is responding this manner, we said, now we have to be present.
Wow.
And join together and support in whichever way possible. You see, drug and substance abuse amongst young people has been on the rise. There's a report by Embakasi that is in also 1 in 14 youths between 12 to 35 are alcoholic. And that's just data that has been reported. You can imagine that is not reported yet.
Anaenda, anakula, anatafuna, sijui ni mkoka, sijui ni drug gani, then he don't give the shelter. Anamwambia, why are you not cooking for me? Yule anasema sina pesa utawacha. What happened? Anamfunga kwa kitanda. So the neighbor anasema hatuwezi fanya hii kazi. Because huyu jamaa ni drugless, hana huruma, atatupiga. What happened? I called Anthony. Tukachukua police from Embakasi. I remember that time, it was 2018. Tukafuta nyumba. Kufuta nyumba, mama iko na mimba na watoto ni wachanga sana. Kumbe the gentleman alifunga nyumba on top ikiwa ameenda Umoja kununua nini? Hizo drugs. So akirudi hakuna nguvu sasa ya kupiga hiyo mama. So tukabomoa, tukachukua, tukariski watoto pamoja na Anthony. I remember that day, it was afternoon. Then we take to the DC. From there we look for a shelter and then tukapeleka home center hapa Nairobi, if I remember. Smile, yeah, smile. Yeah, really.
To thank God for today and also for this strong team that is Drugless Generation and Foundation. They have brought us to the foundation. And I'm so glad to be here. Having said that, I know we are here for a purpose. When you invite a bishop in a meeting, you are talking of inviting God in a meeting. Because that's the work. So now that you have invited God, even when I met the Drugless, my brother here, Pastor Anton, he said, God has confirmed. You are welcome. And I've struggled all through to make sure today I'm here.
So I believe we shall talk about more of the drugs. Maybe in less than 30 seconds I can share you that we are all drug addicts, but sometimes we don't know. Because when we talk about the drugs, I know we talk about the addicts of marijuana or the others, but again, we are addicts to other drugs in food.
You're going to tell us in a short while because you're going to have...
Thank you so much. Good evening. My name is Eric Maina. I'm here to represent the area member of parliament, Embakasi Central constituency.
Sisters Odumbe. I am a program manager at Gala. Gala is the Kenya Lands Resident Associations. Glad to join you today. You are invited and we thought it's a wonderful opportunity to join you in this program. You know the kind of work that we are doing. We are the apex body of all resident associations in Kenya, and I believe almost everyone here is our member because you live in an estate unless you live elsewhere outside the house. But if you're living in a house and you're living in the estate, then you're our member, whether you're paid or not. Thank you very much.
Okay, good evening everyone. My name is Joyce Auna and I'm here on behalf of EXP Momentum, which is an experiential marketing agency. We do implementation in the community and therefore we interact with the people we want to actually make sure that we have a generation-free foundation which has something to do with the community. So I was invited by Mr. Dumbe, because he knows what we do, and also feel like this is an opportunity to learn, interact, and also pick up something, because that starts with me. I don't have to wait for someone. Thank you.
Hey,
Money from Kenya, and I have several things that God has enabled us to do. I'm the CEO of Brucewood Education Center. It's a high school that educates young people from Embakasi area, and also I do other things. I also am a pastor in the Shelter of Love Church, which is based in Shujamo. And I'm also an international humanitarian diplomat from International Institute of Humanitarian Diplomacy in the USA. I'm also a humanitarian chaplain from the same organization, and also belong to the International Association of American Chaplains. Now you see, when you're a chaplain, you're not like a pastor. A chaplain is a religious person who works outside the church. And we do not, it is not the same. You know, a pastor will work to save souls. But a chaplain is like a doctor. A doctor cares for everyone who comes their way. Whether they are from a different race, different religion, and all that. And I'm also the chair of the now Drug-Free Generation Network Foundation. And we have walked a journey because with Anthony, he has an interesting story. But one of the ways is that when we encountered each other, something changed in his life. And that is why I tried to run away from being the chairperson, and he couldn't let me not be. And I appreciate this because something that we do, my wife and I, we are also family counselors. And we have done that on media for the last about 15 years. K24, Kameme FM, Nation TV, Family TV, KTN, TV47, all of them put a panel to jacket. And one of the key things that we're looking for is if you have a right family, then that is where the foundation is right. And if something goes wrong, then everything goes wrong. And so as we sit here and working towards having a drug-free generation, it starts with our families. It starts actually with you. Because if you do it right in your family level, then it will be okay. The reason why I'm so passionate about Drug-Free Generation Network Foundation is because I lost my own brother to drugs. He actually committed suicide using drugs. So when I saw that, I said, I will never in my heart watch another young person go through that direction. And so as we stand here, we are launching something that is so important to our nation. And I will say for Kenya to launch a foundation, especially now, he can tell you what the scrutiny the entire board has gone through. To the core of NIS going to the chief, to the sub-chief, to find out who you are. Because they just don't want anything else. And therefore it is such an honor. Then looking at each one of you, coming here to partner, because we are partners. We can't do this alone. We are partners because drugs, you know, sometimes I look at the journey of drugs. Afghanistan all the way to South America all the way to Kenya. And you know, that's a network. And unless there is also a network that can be able to pull out those who are in drugs and stop those who want to get into drugs before they get there, then we shall be okay. I appreciate even the leaders within our community. Seeing our MPs sending people here is because they have a passion. Seeing the church leaders, the estate leaders, because that's where it begins. And I like what the story of our sister when she was saying that it took Anthony and others to rescue that family. So I want each one of us to introduce themselves in a very quick way, the name, what you do, and that's all.
Godfrey Shem here is Apostolic Bishop, is the CEO. We all know the work of the CEO, most simplest, getting the work done by grace.
Majina naitwa Colette Rayola. I'm the treasurer of the Drug-Free Generation Network Foundation and also the coordinator.
Kwa majina naitwa Francis Mwakio. Mimi nashikilia mwandishi, the secretary of the network.
My name is Martin Mutisi. Kwa majina naitwa Patrick Kairo.
Bwana asifiwe. Habari zenu? Ambie mwenzako tusale matre. Tunaangalia mwambie tusale matre. Tusale matre. We must make sure we eradicate drugs and substance self-abuse. So I'm the founder of Drug-Free Generation Network. It was founded in 2007, realized in 2015, so it has an history on it, and the people you see here, they are very dear to my heart. They have seen me going through that process, they have stood with me, and I'm glad to be with them because I know this will go for generation to generation, even when I'm not. Go to generation to generation. So that is who I am, and I thank God because He is good and His mercy endures forever. So mbarikiwe sana.
And there are people who are growing up families, just like the story of our sister there. They are growing up families simply because they are in their homes and they are beating their wives, beating their children, and that is terror also. Drugs has terrorized families simply because we have people who cannot eat, and that's a part of our terror. Because when children cannot eat and they sleep hungry, that is actually terror. There is nothing as terrifying as watching your own brother die because of a drug overdose. That is terror. So when we sit in that, we are not just looking at anything has to do with terrorism in terms of what we think, but we are looking at all-round terror and how can it be. And one of the biggest ways we can do is to advocate very strongly against drug abuse, because that's the beginning of everything. Anybody who is looking for drug can easily give their life to cause crime.
Leo ningekuwa Mungu leo, mara niko kwa ofisi ya Mungu. If I were given time to be where God is standing, I would say that we are terrorists on ourselves. We are our own enemies. And because I'm given 1 minute, I want us to believe God together, because we are enemies of our own selves. We are enemies of our own families. We are enemies because it's like there's a norm. We talk about these things, and most times we talk about them and we leave them. But what the founder has done, the meekness of what he has done, and when he talked to me and invited me, I realized that there was something unique in a new approach, in a new generation. And when I thought about it, I understood that God was giving him a new beginning, a revolutionary mind. Because even what he's doing is terrorist to him. But he is given boldness by God to be able to stand on his 2 feet and ask God for grace. When we read from the Bible, in the book of Genesis, we find that when God was to wipe out all the people from the face of the earth, Noah found grace.
In my opinion, I've been looking at people taking drugs and having ideas, exchanging ideas with them, and I found one problem. A big number of drug addicts, be alcohol, be any type of drug, are taking these drugs to become happy successes. So according to my sector, I would encourage and have a coalition with this foundation to join us, and we can talk at Nation Center office about how we can help these people having access to financial excellence and financial discipline that will help them to get happiness from what they are earning, not from forgetting the happiness and exchange drugs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Cleo. Me from my sector, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, so representing many youth outside there in music and in art. Many youth are maybe failing because of lack of support. So I would like maybe the government and our community leaders, we can implement a policy that can support the talent. You see many people who have the talent, but they cannot be supported because of there is lack of support.
James Manen from EAK. EAK is an umbrella board of evangelical churches in the country. I think from my experience, especially with our friends where I stay, somewhere in Wakabete, realize most times, most often 2 things. One is because of lack of what to do. People are idle. So they get idle, then they go to look for something to keep them busy. But also their idleness, because of lack of money, they get depressed because of they need money for their families. Some of them need money to meet on their own needs. And so you realize that there is a sense in which economic pressure.
The problem, my observation according to me, is most of them negligent from the parents. When you see your child or your friend child, it's not good. You advise him to say, let him not step my house because I see this child is not good for you. Walking together. The mother start pushing the son. Instead of doing counseling and talking to more friends, asking them help, because I can see my son nowadays is not good. The character sometimes change. So if you don't ask assistance, how will you help that child?
When I'm listening to the conversations, but it also, as a community leader, it also just gives us it back on to us that the structures we have created as a community, the way we communicate with one generation to another, can also create this idea of proliferation of drugs. Number one, we don't allow continuous conversation with our children. We don't give a window to open to our children. So we come back home when you are tired, and what you want to hear is what he lacks. If he says he needs 1,000 for the next day, we leave that 1,000 on the table. We don't ask him what he's going to use it for, and so on and so on. So my appeal is that as a community leader, we, the community leaders, are also part of the problem. Ventilate, allow the younger generation to communicate with you more. And probably that's what I can make sure of.
I'm Eric Minor, personal assistant to the area member of parliament, and on the issue to do with drugs. we would say as a nation we have failed to tackle this problem. Because despite us having the most progressive constitution, we realize Kenyans we are still having that culture shock where we have had challenges when it comes to implementing. You have a constitution that says there is a body like Nakada that should be actively on the ground, making sure people are aware of the crisis that we are having when it comes to drug. But we were able to remove everything else. But for Nakada, we don't have them at the local level. So it's something that we need to rethink as a nation. The other issue is you realize we have monetized drugs so much, so that as a society we see the profit bit of it, but we also now do not take time to interrogate what are the other effects that comes about from these drugs. You realize drug abuse. If as a society we be able to do away with drugs, most of the problems that we are having would have been solved. Come to think of it, if we do not have drugs, would we be having prostitution? No. Come to think of it, if we don't have drug abuse, would we be having broken families? Chances are we would have a well-organized society. So I think it's an initiative that, despite having a constitution that have the right framework, we need as a nation now to stop saying serikali kuja saidia. We also take the bit of understanding what does our constitution says, what are our rights. You realize it's a joint effort. When we talk of drugs, you are talking. You also have an officer that you are paying using taxpayer money, being an enabler to those drug abuse. So it's something that we all need to wake up. Apart from saying serikali's idea, we also need to take matters to our hand and ensure we have a sober society. I think that's also.
Good evening. Yeah. Smoking 20 cigarettes per day, all is vanity. Drinking 20 beers per day, all that is vanity. But what I can urge, like, instead of we having farms of tobacco, where can we have farms of maize? Where can we have the farms of soybeans? Instead of we having an industry of processing tobacco, where can we have industries of processing maize, millers, kind of those things? The system says, you say one flour as a business guy, one flour is 120. One cigarette is 1 shilling. Where should maize should be 1 shilling, then cigarette to become 120? Because it's a luxury thing. These drugs are for luxury. It's nothing they can country. I used to hear a friend of mine previously saying that if I smoke, I can do big fun. I say, but you just now start doing other things more than these. Or invest in maize, not in tobacco. Invest in farms of other things more than these. So the key things which if you do can help the youth are for empowerment. That's first thing. Another thing, industries, if you pay for them, they stop that.
I'm a pastor. In the grace of God, I've trained more than 2,300 young people, that is men and women, from different background, in secret, because these are clients. I was in addiction for 17 years, so I know the process, and I'm very okay because of God. I just want to say something. I don't want to say so much things because I'm waiting for what I wanted to show you. The vision that is here, it's huge. It wants a heart of love and sacrifice. I've been kidnapped. I've been kidnapped 5 times I have a bullet wound here, but I survived. So I paid the price. I paid the price. And I can never be afraid to transform the lives of young people and children who are going into drugs unknowingly, because that is a spirit and it can be dealt with. This is the defining moment, and this is now Drug-Free Generation Network Foundation.